Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream next to the stream. It is the 6th today, right? Yeah, the 6th today. And so we'll be going through the Jesus Calling book. I got coffee today because I was craving a lot yesterday. I'm trying to avoid Tim Hortons, but I got an addiction. It's not good. And then, we'll read the Proverbs from today. Then I'll share a little bit more about some of my favorite parts of Holy Week as we head towards Good Friday. Like yesterday, Palm Sunday, we talked about how everyone was celebrating Jesus as he came into the city, even though he was going to get abandoned by them all soon, and how we can all relate to that. But before we get to the Holy Week stuff, let's focus our attention to the Jesus Calling. This is a daily devotional laid out not by year, just by date. So, sorry. And it's written as if Jesus is actually talking to you. So, April 6th, right there. And yeah, this is just a daily devotional. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Ryan and Alex. I still find it a little bit weird that people watch me do this, but it's all good. I'm pretty sure. Sorry, that was a Facebook thing. I'm pretty sure that I'll be playing Jackbox tonight. So I've created a new room code, a new server, and I'll link it in the comments after this video is done. And yeah, join me tonight. I bought Jackbox Party Pack 5. We've been having some fun with that, and I should be online tonight at around 9:30, as long as everything goes as planned. I do have a sick family member that we've had to go and visit a couple times, so because we have to bring them food and whatnot. So we are social distancing other than that. But that has actually removed us from being able to host a couple nights. So if you guys have tried to log on or tried to find me and couldn't find me, that's why. But anyways, April 6th. And once again, this is my first time reading this, so my learning disability does come out a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay. Bring me the sacrifice of thanksgiving. Take nothing for granted, not even the rising of the sun. Before Satan tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden, thankfulness was as natural as breathing. Satan's temptation involved pointing Eve to the one thing that was forbidden from her. The garden was filled with luxurious, desirable fruits, but Eve focused on the one fruit she couldn't have. Rather than being thankful for the many good things freely available, this negative focus darkened her mind, and she succumbed to temptation. When you focus on what you don't have, or on situations that displease you, your mind becomes darkened. You take for granted life, salvation, sunshine, flowers, and countless other gifts from me. You look for what is wrong and refuse to enjoy life until it's fixed. When you approach me with thanksgiving, the light of my presence pours into you, transforming you through and through. Walk in the light with me by practicing the discipline of thanksgiving. And then there's 3 Bible verses that inspired that. I will offer you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call upon the name of the Lord. Psalm 116:7 or 116:17. Then Genesis 3:2-4. The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said, you must not eat fruit from that tree that is in the middle of the garden. You must not touch it, or you will die." "You will not surely die," the serpent said to the woman. And then 1 John 1:7. But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his Son, purifies us all. Purifies us all sin. I think that's supposed to be all from sin, I'm guessing. So yeah, April 6th. I was talking with somebody yesterday about this topic, especially today, as you know, life is getting a little bit more mundane for a lot of us, or other people are like, why do I have to work and everyone else gets to stay home? And there's this weird dichotomy going on in our culture right now where some people are just so separated from everyone else that they're getting a little bit brain dead, myself somewhat included. I'm trying to stay stimulated, and I get to have Candace with me, which is nice, but yeah, the whole idea of then just focusing on everything that's wrong. Like, I was going through a list of a bunch of things that's been going wrong with, like, my bike's getting stolen, my family member that's sick, worrying about my mom who's in the nursing home that's, like, really lonely, Candace losing her job. Some of these things are really, really big things, but knowing that, one, a lot of us are going through a lot of that same junk together, and doing this and leaning on God has helped me be able to appreciate, you know what, besides the one day my internet is working, I have data, I still personally have a job for now, and hopefully will for a while. I get to sit out in the backyard and appreciate the breeze, the sunlight, the birds. I actually have a backyard, and, like, my rent's not ridiculous. I have a grocery store that I can walk to. I have a Tim Hortons that I can drive to, and I can do those things. And I got a Bible that I can read and connect with God's Word on this other kind of crazy level that we take for granted way, way too often. And, you know, trusting that God's in control means that we don't have to be worried, and we don't have to hold on to hurt. We don't have to chase those adrenaline altercations and all of that jazz. We can just, one, let it be and give it to God. One of my friends had an issue and with somebody doing something that they shouldn't have done during a pandemic, and it's a situation where I think they probably should have called the police, but they tried to do it themselves, and things just ended up blowing up. And that happened, like, earlier on in the day, and they were still holding on to it at night. And it was like, okay, but give it over to God. You know, this isn't something that you have to do yourself. Let the police handle it. God's got it. God's got you. During this time, there's a lot of heightened emotions and feelings and confusion and fear. And we can hold on and just look for those bad things, or we can look for the good. With my bikes, I got one of my bikes back. A lot of the community came together and was like, hey, I think I saw one of the bikes over here, and sure enough, that's where one of the bikes was. Somebody else thought they saw one of my other bikes in a different location. Unfortunately, it wasn't that one, and that was the good one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to fixing these up and handing them out to a few people over as the weather gets nicer, and if I still have a job and I can buy the parts. And right now I am good, so people don't mishear that. It's just, you know, if this goes on until October, who knows? Because a lot of people aren't able to still have a job. Yeah, I'm going to look forward to fixing these up and handing them out and trying to bless some people in the community. Biking, I think, is the best way to stay active during all of this physical distancing that we are doing lets you go outside, be active, and have a bit of fun. And though you can bike in a group, going to the movies, right? Like when you go to the movies, yeah, you go with a group, but you're really just sitting alone. Sorry. No, phone. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call, and I don't know how to stop it, apparently. There, decline. Boom. All right. Now that we had that separation, I'm going to read Proverbs 6. So if anyone has their Bible, want to read along, Proverbs 6. And if you see me going live, I think I might try to establish like a time that I'm going to start doing this live stream by the stream every day. So if you guys like that idea, so you can actually go like, hey, yeah, I know we're going to read the Bible together with Jeremy at like 1 o'clock. Does 1 o'clock sound like a good time? Let me know. And once again, if you do join the stream, just hit like or whatever so I can go through and I can see who's on and I can pray for you. Any prayer requests or anything like that. Leave a comment or private message me, or if there's something that you'd like me to cover. All right. Proverbs 6. My child, if you have put up security for a friend's debt or agreed to guarantee the debt of a stranger, if you have trapped yourself by your agreement and are caught by what you said, follow my advice. Save yourself, for you have placed yourself at your friend's mercy. Now swallow your pride and go beg to have your name erased. Don't put it off. Do it now. Don't rest until you do it. Save yourself like a gazelle escaping a hunter, like a bird fleeing from a net. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. But you lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little holding of the hands to rest, then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. What are worthless and wicked people like? They are constant liars, signaling their deceit with a wink of the eye, a nudge of the foot, or a wiggle of the fingers. Their perverted hearts plot evil, and they consistently stir up trouble. But they will be destroyed suddenly, broken in an instant beyond hope of healing. There are 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7 things he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, the heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord in family. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instructions. Keep their words always in your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, their counsel will lead you. When you sleep, they will protect you. When you wake up, you will be advised. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is a way to life. It will keep you from immoral woman, from the smooth tongue of the promiscuous woman. Don't lust for her beauty. Don't let her coy glances seduce you. For a prostitute will bring you to poverty, but sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. Can a man scoop a flame into his lap and not have his clothes on fire? Can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? So it is with the man who sleeps with another man's wife. He who embraces her will not go unpunished. Excuses might be found for a thief who steals because he is starving. But if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he has to sell everything in his house. But a man who commits adultery is an utter fool, for he destroys himself. He will be wounded and disgraced. His shame will never be erased. For the woman's jealous husband will be furious, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation, nor be satisfied with the payoff of any size. So in that, Proverbs 6:16 to 19, there are 6 things the Lord hates, no 7 he detests: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who sows discord in family. That relates back to Luke 22 and 23. This list of 7 things the Lord detests is also a list of what Jesus accepts and endures as he goes to the cross. Haughty eyes and a lying tongue, and hands that kill the innocent, and hearts that plot evil, and feet that race to do wrong, and false witnesses who pour out lies, and people who sow discord. Jesus goes through all of that as he goes the process of the cross. The stuff that happens during the whole Holy Week, the thing that we are so thankful for, he goes through all 7 of those things. Stuff that the Lord detests, but he embraced them for you. He embraced them for me. And then he took it all up on the cross. For before us and after us. Before him and after him. Yeah, so I thought that's cool. I wasn't expecting that to be the reference. I like kind of rereading things and rediscovering things. So, yeah, that was Proverbs 6. Once again, I see that there's a couple new people. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Tim. So, each day of the month, there's, in a lot of months, there's 31 days. And there's 31 Proverbs. So each day I'm coming out reading a devotional from Jesus' calling, and I'm reading the proverb from the day. And then if anyone else brings anything up that they want me to share or discuss, I'm doing that. And today, something that I want to share, because it is Holy Week, is one of my favorite things that Jesus does during his time in Jerusalem after he arrived on the donkey, and that's Jesus washes the feet of his disciples. So you got Jesus, who's like fully God, fully human, comes down to earth. He knows all these people are going to betray him. He knows his closest friends, his disciples, are going to leave. And what does he do? He ends up getting on his feet, getting on his hands and knees and washing his feet. Something that was pretty lowly, something that a servant would have done back then. Now we have shoes and socks, and it's not as big of a deal. But back then, they weren't as foot ready, and their floors were not quite what we have in all of our homes. So this was something that they'd often do, is washing the feet, and it'd often be like a servant or something. So I'm going to read it. Before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew that his sorry, I lost my page when the page flipped. Jesus knew his hour had come to leave this world and return to his Father. He had loved his disciples during his ministry on earth, and now loved them to the very end. It was time for supper, and the devil had already prompted Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, I can never say his name right, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything, and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, and wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. When Jesus came up to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, Lord, are you going to wash my feet? Jesus replied, you don't understand now what I am doing, but someday you will. No, Peter protested. You will never wash my feet. Jesus replied, unless I wash your feet, you won't belong to me. Simon Peter exclaimed, then wash my hands and head as well, Lord, not just my feet. Jesus replied, a person who has bathed all over does not need to wash, except for their feet, to be entirely clean. And you disciples are clean, but not all of you. For Jesus knew who would betray him. That is what he meant when he said, not all of you are clean. After washing their feet, he put on his robe again, sat down, and asked, do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash the feet of others. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth. Slaves are not greater than their masters, nor the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them. I've always liked the Jesus washing the feet story. One time, in 2010, I went to this American music festival, and there was people that were there, and they were washing feet, and it was weird today, but it was cool, and it was this nice message. And literally right now, if we do wash, we have socks and shoes that protect our feet, so physically we will be clean, but the washing of the feet was also very symbolic in a lot of different ways. So here's a question I'm going to give to you. I don't want to give you the answer. It's so easy to try to give you my understanding for it, but what would washing somebody's feet today look like? What would it be? Part of me is I don't know why. I just thought this right now. A very practical thing could be washing somebody's car, because all the salts that's going on around, that's now kind of on the roads, just sticking to cars, now that everything's kind of getting nicer. But yeah, what would modern day washing of the feet look like for you? And the whole idea that God, who by every measuring stick is more important than us, was willing to get down on his knees and wash the feet of the people that were supposed to be serving him. People that were kind of lesser than, if you will. And in our culture, we definitely have a hierarchy. In this kind of new normal, there is a hierarchy that has established. So, not only what would modern day foot washing look like, but whose feet should you be washing? That's the other question. So what will it look like? How can you do it? And how will you do it? For some, it's, there's a lot of different ways nowadays. But don't think of yourself so much better than somebody else that you're not able to go and serve them and show them some love. That's not what our God does. We definitely didn't deserve what he did on the cross. He went through those 7 things that God detests. And yet he still went through with it. So, now, when we can't physically touch, how do you wash someone's feet? How are you going to wash someone's feet today? And for those that are coming in right near the end, that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. Read Now I'm drawing a blank on what verse it was that I was reading. Read John 13, 1 to 17. John 13, 1 to 17, if you want to be able to put that into context. And the other challenge for today, and something that I actually would love for people to leave in the comments below, is something that you're thankful for. We talked about at the very beginning of this, before the fall of man, that thankfulness was just as common as breathing. Now it feels like that's complaining, especially on the internet. So many people are like, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I want to know what you're thankful for. What you're thankful for today, what you've been thankful for during this quarantine. Whether it's like, yeah, you know what? Somebody's sick, but I get to be there for them. Or I'm thankful for, the fact that we have tests in Canada. Or, thankful for the people that, helped me find one of my bikes. There's plenty to be thankful for. I want to know what you're thankful for. Please, honestly, leave it in the description down below. And if you're like, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? Why do you want to know about what thankfulness is? Go back to the beginning of this video. This live stream started off with a devotional about being thankful and how Adam and Eve were thankful in the garden, and then sin entered in, and they started losing their thankfulness. Thanks, Kathy. I'm glad that what I'm saying makes sense. Hey, Samantha. So now that we're nearing the end, thank you for joining right at the but I shared one of the other questions I had was, does making this a regular time make a lot of sense? So it's more of an appointment, or do you guys like just having it pop up randomly sometime in the afternoon? I've had a mix of both on my feedback, so let me know. I'm going to pray for everyone, and then we'll sign off. So once again, the live stream by the stream. Hey JC, thank you so much for the sun, and with everything else going on, that we have a nice day today. I thank you that we have the testing kits, that we have family, that we have technology that we can connect to like this. For our friends that aren't as computer savvy or might not be able to do that, I thank you that we can still connect through phones. I pray for safety for everyone that works at the Walmarts and the grocery stores and the Tim Hortonses and all the other stores. I lift up all the people in the small businesses. Today, Monday, is the day for a lot of the people that have lost their jobs to try to find out how they're going to make ends meet. And I pray for the finances of Canada, the finances of all the countries in the world. They're like, we want to protect our citizens. And the longer this goes on, the harder it is for most people to get through. And most people are just one paycheck away from poverty. So I pray for all the landlords who are losing rent money because their people just can't pay. And I also lift up all the renters as well. And yeah, Lord, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety for the people that are desperate and that are stealing and breaking in and setting fires. Someone burnt down a house, I heard. Don't know if that's actually related to everything that's going on or if that was planned, but yeah, Lord, there's a lot of desperate people, and whether that was like insurance fraud or something like that, who knows, Lord? Lord. I pray that we can learn to be a little bit more desperate and trust that you're going to fulfill whatever our needs are. And when those doubts come into our mind, Lord, I thank you for forgiving us of those doubts. I'm sorry that we had to put you through those 7 things that you detest as a human race before you went up on the cross, but I thank you for enduring it. And I thank you for continuing to endure it. As we choose time and time and time again to honor your love, loyalty, kindness, and forgiveness with betrayal, you continually offer forgiveness and love. It's kind of mind-boggling. And if there's anything I learned, Lord, from following you, I do pray that it's that. For those that are stuck angry, I pray that you can help them find a way to be gracious and be thankful. I'm drawing a blank on what we talked about in Proverbs. There's a couple things in there that were pretty big too, and I left that up. And I thank you that you came down and you washed the feet of your disciples, knowing that they were still going to betray you, and for the example that is for all of us, that we are no better than anybody else, and that we can have compassion for them because you love them. And you served your disciples, and we can serve them. I thank you that the numbers in Ontario are starting to go down, but I pray that people don't get so brave about that they think that they're immune. And as relationships between the U.S. and Canada are getting worse and worse and worse, Lord. I pray for everyone that lives around the border and works over the border, both sides. Lord. But yeah, thank you. I can hear the loons. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for today, Lord. May your will be done and not mine. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Once again, if you want to go back and because you missed the devotional for today, do that. The challenges for today are: 1, what are you thankful for? Leave it in the comment below. That fit with the beginning part. And then, so what are you thankful for? How can you wash someone's feet today and in our society? And to go and do it. Thankfulness and washing the feet like Jesus. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and God bless.